Now, yesterday we have seen that there are the various mediums, and that various mediums we say that uh, the free space medium, lossy dielectric medium, lossless dielectric medium, and a good conductor. So our aim is here to learn about that. What is the conductor here? Okay, so we need to consider that a conductor and a free space because our aim is here to learn that how your wave is propagating in a space. So that's why we need to learn about what happened to this particular uh, uh, that portion. Okay, regarding this videos and all. Okay, so now how? Okay, where is video? Okay, let it be. We continue. We start. Now, video. Now, we have started earlier, and which we say that this one conductor. Conductor nothing but what your wave is propagating. Okay, this is about your wave. Wave is nothing but what electromagnetic wave. It is about what electric field component and magnetic field component, and this wave is propagating through the wire. Sorry, through the rectangular waveguide. These are nothing but a guide. These are nothing but two conducting plates you consider now. And when it is propagating, what happens that this is a conducting wall. From the conducting walls of a waveguide, it reflected back. So signal reflected back here. Again, it reaches to the conductor another here conducting walls of the waveguide. When it reaches here, again it is reflected back. Means your wave is propagating through the rectangular waveguide due to the total internal reflection. So you just remember that while we are consider here, okay, when we are connecting, you just consider that when wave is propagating through the waveguide, it is because of the total internal reflection. Okay, so now our aim is about to learn that plane waves in a good conductor. Plane waves in a good conductor means what? Our sigma, that is about the infinity. It is a conducting surface that is about the infinity. Now, what about the factors of other parameters that epsilon becomes epsilon r and epsilon 0? Mu is equal to what? Mu r and mu 0. So there is a mu r value and epsilon r value. It is depending upon the what conductor we are using, what type of material here. So that's why you remember that what is the conductivity and what is the mu r and epsilon r. So we can find out here. Okay. So what will be the wave propagating through the waveguide when it reaches to the conducting walls of the waveguide? Okay. According to the conductivity of that conducting walls, your signal will be reflected back. Now here, okay, we have started yesterday and incidentally we close now. Now here we have seen that this one is about the incident wave on this, okay, on this conducting walls of a waveguide or a conductor you consider now, surface conductor. On the surface of a conductor, when it is incident, what happens? Your wave is reflected back. Okay, so this is about the incident wave, this is a reflected wave. Why it is reflected? Because wave is not penetrating through the conductor because it has a conducting property, property of a microsignal. When your wave is propagating, okay, when your signal is propagating, uh, okay, through a guide, what happens? There is a guide it has a conductor there, and then at the conducting walls of a guide, your signal get reflected back. So now you will consider that this is the incident wave and this is the reflected wave. Okay, both are. Now here on a waveguide, in a waveguide, what happens? Your signal wave is incident on the guide, okay, wall, and then it is reflected. Your wave propagation takes place inside the rectangular waveguide is about what? A total internal reflection. And wave is not penetrating through the conductor. It is not penetrating. Okay, it is not penetrating. So not penetrating. So now what happened? Why penetration not take place? Because of that property. If you see that it is about the uh, that conducting property. Now if it is high conducting, not penetrating. If that conductivity is reduces, okay, there is variation in the conductivity. Then what happens? That wave can penetrate. So now, how long that electric field vector penetrates through the guide, okay, through that particular walls of conducting wall there, and that is nothing but what a depth of penetration. So means we can say that this is about our surface, okay, this is nothing but a conducting surface. You consider that when we have okay incident here, so it will be reflected. Okay, this is nothing but what a incident wave, and this is nothing but what a reflected wave. Okay, so this is the incident and a reflected one. Now, sometimes what happens when wave is okay, incident here, some of the portion of the wave okay inserted and then reflected. This happens. This is the portion here that is a electric field wave is incident here and it goes inside the conducting wall or a conductor here surface conducting surface, and this is called as a depth of penetration. What is the skin depth? Skin depth means what? Just like a depth of penetration of a electric field or a incident wave on this particular conducting surface, and then it is reflected. So it is a small depth is okay. There is a small depth. So signal will be propagating through the rectangular waveguide through the guide of wall because of that reflection. If there is a small variation in the conductivity, then what happens? Signal will be reflected back. Okay, so this one small variation it will be penetrate. If there is a conductivity is high, so it will be reflected back. So now we need to learn about here. So what is the depth of penetration of a wave? Okay, so depth of penetration of wave. We just consider that. What are the factors here? Okay, so that we need to be considered here. So now we see here this is about your electric field vector and this is about the z direction here. So it is saying that your wave is propagating. When your wave is propagating in z direction, means direction z direction means what? This is about a direction here. You can say that it is a depth of your wave propagation. So then what happened here? So this one your wave is propagating okay through the conducting wall. So this will be a depth of penetration occur. So how much will be the depth of penetration of the given particular field? So you can calculate here using this formula. E is equal to what? E0 e raised to minus alpha delta is equal to e raised to 0 e raised to minus 1. So this one is saying how much is the depth of penetration occur. And that depth, or we can say that is nothing but a skin depth. That is about depth of penetration or skin depth. Your wave is incident in this particular conducting wall there. Now, what happened here? Because wave is penetrating, okay, then what happened? That amplitude decreases. Whatever the we say that amplitude of electric field decreases because of the depth of penetration, and it is depending upon this factor e raised to minus alpha delta. Alpha is nothing but what a attenuation, and if this is nothing but a ratio, we can say that okay at this particular place it will become minus one. Okay. Just remember that what is the depth of penetration? It changes exponential. That value is changes exponential. That is about the 0.368 is 0 here. That is nothing but a depth of penetration at a particular direction. Okay. Then we can say that the skin depth is measure of the what? The depth to which an EM wave can penetrate the medium there. Okay. This is about your depth of penetration. Just remember here conducting good conductor, and for a given good conductor there are the component of what sigma infinite here, epsilon is equal to epsilon or epsilon 0, mu is equal to mu or mu 0, and here conductivity is very greater than the factor that omega epsilon here. Okay, so that is called as about your okay this particular factor that is about the skin depth. We can calculate that the skin depth in terms of what a frequency component in terms of a mu component and a conductivity there. Okay, this one we are getting the equations of a depth of penetration. Similarly, we can find out the electric field equations in terms of what is depth of penetration there. Your wave is propagating, that is the propagation constant, or we can say that it is about the propagation or travel through the conductor. Means it propagate penetrating through the conductor there. Okay, and when we can say that about a skin depth, it is depending upon the frequency. Okay, skin depth decreases with the increasing the frequency. So that's why we can consider that E and H. Okay, if there is a good conductor, okay, it will be hardly propagate through the good conductor. Okay, so that's why we can say that it is a if it is a good conductor, the electric field or magnetic field component should not be penetrate through the guide here. Now, when it is penetrating, okay, so when you say that your electric field vector or a magnetic field vector penetrates through the waveguide, then skin depth is depending upon, then it is saying that that due to that propagation of that field, okay, inside that conducting wall, So then we can find out on this particular surface of a conductor, there is some resistance occur, and that resistance, it gives us the value of how much is the loss takes place at the given conductor. So we can consider that skin depth, okay, to calculate that resistance due to the skin effect. And this resistance is nothing but the values of what we can have AC resistance due to the skin effect, and this resistance, okay, so we can calculate in terms of DC here below equation, that is for the DC RDC is equal to what, whatever the values there we can consider, and we have here a sigma and a surface, whatever the surface we have. And again we can define a skin resistance, okay, that is about 1 by sigma okay, sigma delta, or we can say that a pi f mu by a sigma there. So this one is about your resistance, and here is depending upon that how much is the length here. Okay, so this is, and for the given conductor, okay, so what is the factors? Factor is nothing but depending upon that, okay, whatever the impedance is. Okay, so this in depth or in resistance is nothing but a real part of a intrinsic impedance of a good conductor. Now we can find out what is the AC resistance and the DC resistance. In case of what we can consider that is about the AC resistance, we should know that what is the length, okay, for the given width there, what is the length of that particular penetration. So that's why we can calculate that AC resistance. And similarly, we can calculate the DC resistance there. Okay, so we can have equations of this AC and the DC resistance, and if you solve it, okay, ratio of this, it is depending upon that whatever the conductors we are having and what will be the diameter of that particular conductor. Now here it is nothing but a closed path there we consider, so that's why we have considered that about the radius and our circle. Next about how much is the power flow. Just we are revising some electromagnetic content. Okay, so don't get confused here. We are revising some particular content. Okay, so that is about. Is it voice breaking? Someone saying voice breaking? Is it voice breaking? Getting. So I have just changed today microphone. Okay, so maybe it should not happen. Okay, so now we can consider that this one we have a factor of what. Okay, so that's about a power flow or a Poynting vector. So means this gives us what? What is the wave? Okay, what is the power propagating? And that power propagating nothing but what? A electromagnetic wave. Okay, that is electromagnetic wave. How much is the power by okay for this particular electromagnetic wave? Or you can say that what are the field component for this particular electromagnetic wave? So this power vector or a Poynting vector provide you what? P is equal to what? E cross H. And what is the intensity of electric field component and what is the intensity of a magnetic field component? Okay, E and H. And that provides you the what is the total energy. And here a traveling wave or an electromagnetic wave propagating, so it has some particular energy. And that energy is depending upon that a Maxwell's equation. So we consider one by one here. Okay. Someone say voice nice. Okay. Now a power flow or a Poynting vector, for that purpose we consider that a Maxwell's equation first, and then we can derive the equations of a Poynting vector or a power flow. Okay. So del cross S E is equal to what? Minus dou v bar by dou t. Now here you can say that electric field vector is depending upon that magnetic field vector. Okay. Similarly, we can consider that B is equal to mu H. We can rewrite the equation del cross E is equal to minus mu dou H by dou t. Del cross H is equal to J plus dou d by dou t, and D is equal to epsilon E. Then del cross H is equal to J plus epsilon dou E by dou t here. We are revising again. Okay, D is equal to epsilon E. We are right. Now this J is what? Conduction current density, and this is a displacement current density. Now consider that a vector quantity here del dot of A cross C is equal to what? C cross of del dot A minus A dot of del cross C. Now consider here, replace that E and A and C here with by value of what? E and H. A is to be replaced by E and C is to be replaced by H. Then what happened? Del dot of E cross H is equal to what? H dot of del cross E minus E dot of del cross H. Substitute the values of this del cross H and a del cross E. We'll get that del dot of E cross H is equal to H dot of minus mu dou H by dou T minus E J plus epsilon dou E by dou T. Okay. So now this one we consider now. Next, what happened here? Del dot of E cross H is nothing but a Poynting vector. Okay. And this minus mu of what? Dou H by dou T. And this is about H. We take here the H dot of H here. Okay. It will comes in H dot of H. And after solving that, we'll get that it, okay, here instead of H we say that A dot, okay, likewise twice A of dA dot dt. Okay. Del of A dot C by dt. A is equal to what? Dou C by dou T plus C dot dou A by dou T. Now replacing that C with the A again here. So del of A, so that we are getting a twice of A, dou A by dou T. And this dou A by dou T, okay, so that is nothing but what? Here the expression we have, we say that A dot dou A by dou T, similarly H dot dou H by dou T. So that we are getting that 1 by 2 dou A by dou T square, okay, dou A square by dou T. So this is about our expression. So now we can replace here, okay, this particular term is minus mu into 1 by 2 dou H square by dou T square, then minus E J, this term is there, then minus E here. Okay, so we have E here, epsilon minus E and dou E. Okay, this becomes what? 1 by 2 dou E square by dou T here. Okay, so this we can rewrite the equation here. So we are getting a del dot of E cross H is equal to minus mu by 2 dou A square by dou T minus epsilon dou E square by dou T by this one. Okay, and this is about your conductor. Now this produces or this gives you the equation. Okay, this factor. This one is a nothing but what? A conduction, or that is nothing but a loss here, and this is nothing but a field component or a field vector component for this electric field and a magnetic field, and that gives us what? What is the stored energy in the E field and a stored energy in H field. Okay, this is a stored energy in H field. This electromagnetic wave is transporting E and H is there. Now in that case, E and H, that E belongs to some particular energy, H belongs to some particular energy. When your wave is propagating, so it has a component of what? E and H, and that is nothing but a stored energy in H field and stored energy in E field, and this is nothing but a loss when your wave is propagating. So this is nothing but what? We can consider that a Poynting vector or a power flow, and we can rewrite this power Poynting vector again in terms of what? In terms of a, by applying divergence. Okay, del dot D is nothing but a divergence. Apply divergence A cross H dot ds. So we are getting this particular factor or this particular equation. Okay, so now P is equal to what? E cross H, any closed surface. Okay, Poynting vector represents what? We are getting that power or a power flow out of the particular surface or a closed surface there. So that's why E cross H ds, and here it is a closed one. Okay, so power of a closed particular surface. The Poynting theorem states that the net power flow out of a given volume, okay, that particular given surface here, is about your E cross H if you consider that volume, and or you can relate it in terms of a surface there. It is nothing but what? Time rate of decrease in the energy stored within that particular value minus whatever the ohmic loss we have. Okay. Now here illustration of this particular, okay, power in the electromagnetic field. This is about a stored electric field, okay, stored magnetic field or energy we say, and this is nothing but the Ohm law, okay, ohmic loss. That is about a power in, and this is nothing but a power out from the given region here. Now next part is about a polarization of a plane wave. Okay, and this one polarization means what? What is the field component? Okay, what is the nature of our electric field component? So, in which direction we say? Suppose I am going to draw here. Okay, so this is about your plane wave. Okay, so now I am going to just draw electromagnetic wave. Okay, or a plane wave. Now this is about a plane wave. Just say this is nothing but what? You can say that and this is nothing but what your magnetic field component, electric field component and a magnetic field component. So now you just see here a factor. This is about your electric field component, we say, and this is about your magnetic field component. Now E and H, if you see that on a given line, how this electric field vector looks like? This is E and this is the H. Okay. And at this particular another point, suppose now this is one point, this is another point likewise. So what happened here? This becomes a H and this becomes a E. Okay. At another duration, okay, another duration, if you see that here, you can see that what the electric field is E and this is the H. In another here, this is about your sorry, H and so alternately, what happened here? In a one window, it is E is positive. Another window, okay. If you consider that E is positive here, in another window, so this one is about the AE, upward direction, then downward. E upward, downward. Similarly, we say that is about a positive half turn, negative half, positive half, negative half. Okay. Now the positive half variation of the electric field, positive half variation of the magnetic. Okay. Now field vector at a particular period, okay, particular point, it looks like electric field vector is up, magnetic field vector down. And if you see that in this both the case E and H, there is a 90 degree. Okay, difference of what? A 90 degree. So now we consider here electric field vector E and this magnetic field vector H. Now this E field vector, the nature of this E field vector looks like to the ground. What is the nature of the electric field vector? Suppose it is perpendicular. Now this is a ground plane. Okay, this page, okay, this paper is nothing a plane and it is perpendicular now. Now how it looks like? It is a perpendicular. Now then we can say that your electric field vector is a perpendicular. Okay, so your electric field vector is perpendicular. Now, if suppose I am saying that electric field vector parallel to this ground or this particular paper, this is a parallel now. So, based on the nature of the electric field component, whether that electric field component is perpendicular, we can say that, or a parallel. Okay, so we can consider that a electric field vector, whether it is perpendicular to this surface. If it is a perpendicular to the surface, then we can say that is about a electric field vector. We can say it is perpendicular to the surface, then it is called as a vertical. Okay, vertical polarized wave. And if supposed to be for the given particular ground surface, electric field vector is about the E is a parallel to the ground. So in that case, that we can say that is about the horizontal. Okay, this one is vertical or a horizontal, or we can say that a perpendicular. Okay, or we can say that the body is parallel. Now here, electric field vector is a perpendicular to the ground surface, so that's why we can say that E is a perpendicular to the ground surface. In that case, we say that about the electric field vector looks like a vertical one. If that electric field vector is a parallel to the ground surface, that electric field vector looks like a horizontal. So you just remember that, okay, here E field component is a perpendicular and E field component is a parallel now. Now supposed to be electric field vector is not perpendicular or parallel, so it just looks like that vector is makes an angle of a theta with this particular surface now. Okay, that is the case. We can say that's about a polarization factor, and there we have a types of polarization. One is about a linear polarization. Okay, so in that linear polarization, there is what vertical polarization. Okay, then horizontal polarization, or then we can say that's about the theta polarization. Okay, so means electric field vector is vertical, or you can say that's about a perpendicular polarization. It is a parallel one, or it is theta one. Okay, so we can say that a polarization electric field vector looks like a parallel to the surface or looks like to the perpendicular to the surface, then it becomes what? A parallel polarization or a perpendicular polarization. Okay, some of the books, if you see that, most of the time they have mentioned that it is a perpendicular polarization or somewhere they are saying that is about a parallel polarization. Some other books, okay, so it is depending upon the people they used word perpendicular or parallel, or someone people are using that word that is about the vertical or a horizontal one. Okay, you remember vertical nothing but a perpendicular, horizontal is nothing but a parallel one. So polarization here we consider vertical polarization and a horizontal polarization or a theta polarization. Another case is about what? A circular polarization. Circular polarization means what? We consider that a your field, okay, so it is nothing but a simple wire. Okay, if you consider that your circular polarization means what? Your electric field vector is propagating in a circular fashion. Okay, so now suppose to be I am going to consider a ring. Okay, that is about a spring. Now this is nothing but a spring. Okay, now in this particular case suppose I am going to consider that, so we consider that this is about your electric field vector, and this is about the electric field vector is rotating. Okay, your electric field is rotating in this particular fashion, and then changes the orientation then. Okay, likewise it looks like it is a circular one. Okay, so now if in another way, if supposed to be I am going to draw, I supposed to be cut this section, what happened here? This is looks like your electric field vector. Okay, this is about your electric field vector looks like. Means your electric field vector is rotating circularly. If supposed to be, if you consider any spring, okay, if you have any spring, so now what you do one thing, okay, from one end, okay, if you have a kitchen, okay, and that in the kitchen, if you have a spring now, when you are inserting that in a key, okay, in that particular spring, you need to rotate that key, okay, you need to rotate that key through the particular spring. Then what happened? It is rotating one. That spring is looks like a circular one. When you are rotating that key from that spring, what happened? You consider that that end that touches to that spring is nothing but a electric field vector at that particular point. And then when you are rotating your key, so it looks like a circular one. Your key is rotating in a circular fashion. You just remember that that rotation of that particular field, okay, is saying that at that particular point it is a circular one, and it looks like that vector is rotating. Okay, vector is rotating in a circular fashion. Okay, your electric field vector is rotating in a circular fashion, and that is called as a circular polarization. And here the spring is act as what? That is about a rotation. Okay, so we can consider that a polarization, that is about a circular polarization. Why we need a polarization? Okay, why we are learning polarization? Because we need to differentiate that what is the nature of an antenna. Okay, or we can say that properties of an antenna, characteristics. So what is the characteristics? Whether your antenna is circular polarized, linear polarized, or elliptical polarized. So generally, all the all the cases, if you see that most of the example, it is the antenna. Okay, most of the example, if you see that it is a linear polarized wave. Okay, all of the examples, if you see that it is a linear polarized wave. Only for a few applications, circular polarized or elliptical polarized waves are used. Because if you use a circular or elliptical polarization wave, then a receiver, okay, whenever we are receiving the signal, okay, there is a small deflection in the field component. Then it is difficult to, okay, receive that particular component. Okay, so that is about another part, means that is fading and all. Okay, so that is about a different story for this particular field component. But if it is a linear polarized wave, so we can easily receive. Okay, so if you see that in your mobile phone, all are nothing but a linear polarized wave. We are receiving the signal that is a linear polarized wave. But your transmitter can be a circular one. Okay, it is not necessary it should be a circular one. It is linear one. It can be a circular one, but you can receive that linear polarized. So, but the condition is that when we have both the polarization or that antenna, okay, then we can receive the proper signal. Okay, proper signal means what? There is a power level. Ultimately, our aim is about the power level. We can receive any signal, but that power level is reduces. So now you can try that at a home. You people are using a dish TV, and you people are getting the signal that is about a linear polarized component. That is a plane wave. Generally, it is a plane wave. Plane wave means what? We getting the signal that is a nothing but a has the same amplitude, uniform amplitude of this particular field. Okay, it is nothing but what you can say, that's about a plane wave. PR is it. Okay, so this is about your plane wave, and your antenna dish is receiving the signal that is about the plane wave. Next, about a elliptical polarization. In a elliptical polarization, what? Your signal is elliptically polarized one. Now, instead of that circle, that electric field vector makes an ellipse. Okay, electric field vector makes an ellipse. Here, this is the vertical component. This is supposed to be Ex, and this is about the Ey. And if supposed to be in a circular one, it is what? Ex and Ey. Now, here, what happened? That amplitude of the Ex and Ey is same in a circular polarization. But in elliptical, amplitude of Ex, okay, and Ey is not same, because Ex is in a whatever we can say that about the minor axis, and Ey here is considered in a major axis of the ellipse. This is about the ellipse. Now, how your wave propagate here? Now you have take a same example, that is spring. Now you do one thing, you press a spring. Once you press a spring, then you looks like that spring will be elliptical. Okay, and then same thing, you move the keys from that particular spring, then it looks like what? It is that he is touching to the area that, okay, that particular wire. There is nothing a field vector. Field vector is moving through that ellipse. Okay, field vector is moving through that ellipse. We just remember. And that is called as a elliptical polarization. So we learn here that is a polarization, because our aim is about to understand that your field component propagating through the waveguide, nothing more. And we are just revising the electromagnetic field okay, electromagnetic wave here, to understand that what is the wave, how your wave is propagating and all. Okay, that is about your um, okay, that is about your revising that electromagnetic content. Again, we need to revise one more topic. I think this is about the end actually for the model one. We need to okay, revise one more topic, that is about the antenna. Because generally what happened, okay, that is not about our scope of our syllabus. Okay, our syllabus is simply, it is finished. We have seen that electric, that is about, if you consider that your syllabus is simple and straightforward. Band regions, okay, region designations, what are the micro devices and applications of microwave there. Okay, interaction between electron and field in electron motion in electric and magnetic field and electromagnetic wave, and then electromagnetic plane wave. That is about our syllabus. Okay, nothing more. So, but we revising here, okay, electromagnetic component, electromagnetic field, because you have studied in the last semester, and we need that. Okay, we need always that electromagnetic, okay, component. Okay, because wave is propagating through the waveguide, it is through the total internal reflection. That's why we need to revise about the conductor. What is the conductor surface and all? What happened to the electric field component? Again, we need to say same thing at the time of a rectangular waveguide. Okay, so nothing more. Don't worry, we are not going to consider as per the syllabus. We need to just see that. Okay, so we can consider that about it. Okay, this syllabus. Okay, so this one is not a okay transmission line theory. It is about it waveguide. Okay, we need to revise this. Okay, so this is about your model one. Okay, so we can consider that is model one here. Okay, as it is, and this is about your lecture polarizations and all. Now, one more component, that is about the antenna. In an antenna, okay, so what happened in an antenna? Generally, we consider that a dipole. Dipole is what? Okay, it has the two poles. Okay, so that's why we can say that is about a dipole. Okay, so small, small. Okay, both the poles are same height. Okay, so we just consider. And this dipole is energized by what? Some signal. That is about your alternating signal, AC. Okay, your signal is nothing but a sinusoidal one, not AC voltage and DC voltage. Okay, so just remember that a sinusoidal. Okay, otherwise you people get confused. It is sinusoidal. So what happened here when your signal propagating? Okay, so in that case, for a given particular dipole, okay, so what happened? Your signal reaches to this particular pole. Okay, this is about a portion, and this is about the another. So half of the portion of this sinusoidal signal is reaches likewise. So when you draw, okay, that current, how that current looks like in this dipole, it is sinusoidal one because this one is the dipole, and here we consider that the signal is propagating. Now, in that case, what happened to this dipole there? So this just like this antenna dipole is act as a parallel plate. Parallel plate. Do you know the capacitor? Capacitor, what happened? There are the two plates. Okay, it is a parallel plate capacitor. In a parallel plate capacitor, what happened? Okay, what happened to the parallel plate? So we consider that electric field vector it emanates from this particular plate and terminates to the another plate. Okay, so electric field vector here similarly it emanates from what one plate and terminates at the another plate. Now what happened here? This is about your electric field vector. Okay, so similarly in an antenna your electric field vector is emanating. Okay, and then terminating. But if you see that current distributions of this dipole is looks like a this one. Okay, sinusoidal one. Nature of a current distribution of a dipole antenna is a sinusoidal one. But in that case, that lambda, okay, that wavelength lambda is to be larger. If lambda is less than okay lambda by 2, that sorry, length of this dipole is less than lambda by 4. Okay, very less than lambda by 4. Then what happened? That current distribution is no longer sinusoidal one. Okay, in that case, that current distribution looks like a triangular one. So current distribution is triangular means what? Is about a current distribution. It looks like a triangular. And a current distribution is a circular. This one means what? It is sinusoidal means what? This particular plate will be act as a positive. Another plate is act as a negative one. Okay. So in that case, your electric field vector, what happen here? It emanates from one plate and okay, terminate at the another plate. And but we are providing that sinusoidal okay signal. And okay, in that case, sinusoidal signal we are providing. What happened? So your alternately this particular pole, okay, this particular wire, it changes. Sometimes it is positive, sometimes it is negative. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. So then what happened there? It is this is sometimes it is a positive, sometimes it is a negative, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, like that. So means it is terminating, it emanates here in this direction or terminate this direction. Alternately it is changes. So what happened? So alternately it is changes to your electric field component. Okay, so like that. The direction changes. When the direction changes, okay, so we can say that emanating from the one plate and terminating to the another plate. So what happened? It generates that electric field pattern is likewise. What happened here? Electric field pattern will be looks like one is a positive, another different direction. Okay, upward, okay, downward, upward, downward, upward, downward. So likewise. Now you just consider right now. Okay, suppose any wire we have. This is nothing but a dipole. Is nothing but a wire. And what happened to the wire when a current propagating through the wire? What happened? Your around this wire a field is generated, and that field is called as what? Okay, magnetic field around the wire. You people know that Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law, a field at any point due to this current propagating through the wire is proportional to what? You people have just defined that Biot-Savart law is depending upon that what is the value of a current and and at this particular point what is the angle sine of theta something. Okay, and we can say that okay, what is the direction there? What is the length? So you people know that by Savart's law earlier, it is depending upon mostly it is depending. We just say that it is depending upon that current. So that there will be a field. Now what happened here? Because of that signal, okay, sinusoidal variation here. Okay, this pole will be positive, this will be negative. So similarly, what happened when current propagating there? Somewhere, sometimes it is propagating in this direction, sometimes it is propagating in that direction. But what happened here? So it looks like what the dipole? It looks like likewise. Okay, for the given dipole. Supposed to be this direction. In another end, it is looks like in the downward direction. Okay, likewise upward, downward, upward, downward. So here we can see that the bottom direction. This one. Okay, this one. Likewise this one. So similarly, if you draw the same here, reflecting here, what happen here? Okay, field is looks like. Okay, field is looks like. Sometimes electric field vector is that direction. Likewise. Okay, changes. Okay, direction changes. Alternately, direction changes. Now here, at the supposed to be at this particular point. Okay, at this particular point, if you see that electric field vector is looks like upward, and magnetic field vector is looks like downward. Okay. Now if you consider that in another point, okay, this another point, electric field vector same, sorry, magnetic field vector is this direction, but here the direction of electric field vector is downward. Alternately, that electric field vector and magnetic field vector is changes, okay, downward and upward. So I'm supposed to be, I'm going to draw here what happened to the electric field vector. So at some particular point, this is about our electric field vector. Okay, at this particular. Another point, it looks like what? Okay. Okay. Another point, it is upward. Then another point, it looks like a downward. Then it is looking like upward. Okay, so similarly, it looks like a downward. This is nothing but what? Electric field vector. It looks like a upward and it looks like a back downward. Now, next thing is about your magnetic field vector component. What happened to the magnetic field component? It downwards here. Okay, one say that about your magnetic field component. Okay, like so. This is about your magnetic field component. Sometimes it is upward, sometimes it is downward. Now, if you see here, okay, so now at this particular point, I'm just going to consider this one. Electric field vector upward, magnetic field vector that. Okay, that direction. I am going to consider this point now, electric field vector upward, magnetic field vector is this direction. Here, the magnetic field vector that direction. Here, magnetic field vector that direction. Okay, like so. Magnetic field vector. Similarly, here, electromagnetic plane wave. Okay, somewhere it is component is upward, sometimes it is component is downward. Okay, and according to that, we can consider that electric field vector upward and a downward. So E and A. So now we can consider that the field component is a upward and a downward direction. So we see here in this particular antenna, what happened? It is upward and downward. So likewise, your wave is propagating. Means antenna produces electromagnetic wave. It's just like the direction is likewise. Okay, it is providing that electromagnetic wave in this particular direction there. Okay, that is about your model 1 here. Okay, so we consider that for the given model 1 antenna, we see in detail that because right now we have only a 5 minutes left for the given meeting. We could not complete that how your field generate electric field and magnetic field. Just we are not seeing here what happened to this particular wire. We are not seeing. We just say that electric field component and magnetic field vector is generated. We'll see in detail again what happened to this particular wire. The wire is there. Okay. So in that case, your wire is there. What happened in the wire? So consider that when a current is propagating, okay, when a current is propagating, what happened? The charge distributions, okay, whatever the charge, forget about right now current, okay, like later on we consider current. Charges are there, okay. When we say that a current is propagating, there are the electrons, okay, electron charges, okay, Q is there. And that Q is providing you what is the value? That is I is equal to what? dq by dt. Rate of change of charges with time we get a current charges. Now what happen when in an antenna it is positive and negative sometimes. And if you consider that one end is positive and another is negative. Okay, so now this is about a conducting wire, and we consider that one end is positive and another is negative. What happens? There will be more charges. It's supposed to be. I am going to consider that another case here. This is positive. There will be another. Now, when current starts flowing, charges start moving in the direction. Charges start moving in that direction. They will reach us at this particular plate. Current is propagating. Charges are moving. Charges are moving. Similarly, your field changes. Alternately, your electric magnetic field changes. Okay, so we need to see that what happened to this particular field. Okay, so what happened in this particular case? Charges at this particular place when current is propagating, try to move to the positive part. Okay, it means current is propagating. Okay, now when we can say that this one is propagating in that direction. So means wire is there, current is changes, so your electric field vector and magnetic field vector is changes. Okay, so this gives us a electromagnetic plane wave, EM wave. Okay, so this gives us a electromagnetic plane wave. So that is about your EM wave, and that is about your model 1. We say that we end the model 1. So tomorrow we start model 2. Okay, so we can consider that a model 2. In that we say that we can consider the model 2, and we see in a model 2. Okay, that's about a rectangular waveguide and all. Okay, in a model 2. So for this particular model 2, if you see that syllabus for this model 2, so I'll just open up that particular PPT and then we continue. Okay, wait now, try to opening now. Okay, we have waveguide and component there. Okay, this is about your model 2. Okay, and for this particular microwave here, we need to see just say for this particular segment. Okay, now I'm going to just open up this particular PPT, this component there. I'm going to share you. This is about your model 1. In the model 1, we have seen this particular topic. All people are able to see that. Increase the font so that you can see. Okay, this is about your micro frequency fundamental bands and all that we have seen. And this one is about in model 2. We can learn here the waveguide component. Here we learn that a rectangular waveguide and a circular waveguide. And then we see that it's T mode and all the modes there only for the rectangular mode waveguide. Okay, not for a circular waveguide. And then we will see that here we see that component that rectangular waveguide, and all the components in this we consider that a rectangular waveguide. Then we are able to understand the practical. Okay,